Hello, fourth grade. This is Mr. Freiberger, and I'm going to take you through pages 3 and 4 of the iReady at Home packet, numbers 1 through 10 in this video. And this is the first of just a bunch of short videos that I hope to provide. That way you can do the work and you have a place to check your work. So thanks for tuning in. All right, so as I get ready to do this, go through these, this is all about place value and a place value concepts. And here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that you go down and you make, I'm going to go down to the bottom of my document here, and you make a place value chart like this. Start by just making a, going across, just making a line, making one line going across here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just grab a color and do that real quickly. You know, you're going to go down, go across, and take a blank sheet of paper, and this is worthwhile to set up. And then you're going to make one, you can see these lines coming down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those lines. And then just fill in from ones to millions. You should be able to do that. So I'm going to pause, ask you just to pause the tape, pause this, create that place value chart, because that's what we're going to be using really to understand place value. Okay, so pause it now and create that place value chart for me. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to assume you made that place value chart, and now we're going to find out why, because we're going to be referring to that. So here it says write the number 78, and the way you read this is you read the first numbers up to that comma, the thousands comma. So that's 78,000. Then you read the next three, 215 in the place value chart. 78,215. And then we're going to end up writing that down here. We're going to write that 78,215 in expanded form and word form. So we're going to go down to that place value chart and put 78,215. I'm just going to spin down to mine, hopefully not make you seasick. There we go. So on your place value chart, go ahead and let's do that. Let's put in 78,215. Okay, so we have I'm going to start here. We have 5 ones, a 10, 200, 78,000. We have 8,000 and 7 10,000s. And on your place value chart, I didn't show this, but go ahead and put a comma here after the thousands place, and that will remind you that a comma goes right there in your number. So now you've got 78,000, then 215. Notice we're not saying the word and. So keep that there, and let's go back and fill in the answer for number 1, the first part of it, and then we'll come back and talk about expanded form. All right, so I just flipped back so I wouldn't make you seasick. Now let's go ahead and fill the answer in this place value chart. That's 5 ones, 110, 200s, 8 thousands, and again I'm going to go ahead and say put a little comma there and a little comma there to remind you that's the thousands place comma, and 7 10,000s. Okay, so now you've got that. So now we're going to write that in expanded form. Well, let's go to the place value chart that you have made and see what expanded form means. So I'll meet you there in a second. Okay, so I'm back on my place value. So what we're looking at is this concept, expanded form. Really, really useful concept here. Whoops. See what's going on here. See if it'll go back. Something messed up on there. So we're looking at this concept of expanded form. Just wanted to write that again. And what that means. I'm just going to write expanded form here. Okay. And so what expanded form means is, well, let's just look at each digit and let's write the value of it. So let's look at the first one. This is 7 10,000. Let's use a different color. 7 10,000. So if you count by 10,000 7 times, you'd get 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40, 50, 60. You would get 70,000 is the value. And this should be a review. It's all expanded form is. Looking at that digit. There's the 8. Its value is thousands. What's the value of 8 thousands? Well, just 8,000. Okay. 2 in the hundreds, of course, 200. 110, there's 10. And then 5. And that's expanded form. And if I was to add 70,000 plus 80,000 plus 200 plus 10 plus 5, then I would get right back there's where I'd get right back to. Okay, so let's go back and fill that in, expanded form. Again, hopefully that's a review for you. We'll head back and fill that in. Okay, let's fill that in. So expanded form, so we have 7 10,000s, that's worth 70,000. We're going to add to that. Next place value, 8,000s. Put our comma in these numbers. Plus 200s, plus 10, plus 5. And altogether, putting that back together, it would give us our original number, 78,215. Okay, now we're going to do word form. So word form is just say the number as you see it in its standard form, which is, this would be the standard form, just digits. And then write the words. So the way you do that is you're going to start by reading the numbers that are to the left of that comma. So you'd read these two first. 78, and then you see the comma, 1,000. 78,000. And so that's what you would write. 70. 78,000, and then a comma, just like you would with your numbers. This is a hyphen, and hopefully that's also a little bit of a review. You're connecting 70 anytime, like 71, 72, connecting numbers, that's a hyphen. Now let's write the rest of it. 200. 215. You don't use the word and. There's no and. And means a specifically and means a decimal. It means you're going to start talking about maybe the next place value over, for example, tenths. There's no tenths in this number. If there was, if you saw the number, for example, 78 and 2 tenths, you would have to write 78, you'd have to write the word and for the decimal, 2 tenths. But again, no and. Okay, so let's pause this for just a second. Let me go to number 2. We'll talk about what I'd like you to do. Okay, number 2 is just the same set of skills that we just did in number 1. So what I'd like you to do, go to your place value chart that you created and go ahead and write this number. Go ahead and write the 540,632 in that place value chart. That way you could fill in your expanded form just like I did with number 1. Take some time and do that. Then come back and write it in expanded form down here. Okay, and after you've done that, then I will have my work up. You can check your work with mine, and then we'll go to word form. So again, write 540,632 on your big place value chart. Fill it in on this one. Use your big place value chart to help in writing expanded form if you need to, and then check back. All right, let's get going. Okay, so let's look at the first 2 things I asked you to do. One was go ahead and put this in your big place value chart. Okay, that's going to help with expanded form. And then write the number here. So we wrote 540,000, don't forget the comma, 632. Then it asks you to write it in expanded form, and that's what we're going to check. So in your big place value chart, what you could do is put that 5 in the hundreds, thousands place, and then show zeros across. It would look like this: 500,000. For 10,000s, you'd have 40,000. I put 0 for thousands just to hold it in there, just to show that there are no thousands. If you left it out, it would be okay. 600s, 330 plus 2. So there's expanded form. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to do word form. Just going to remind you, with word form, you're going to read this number. You're going to actually read. I'll do it down here. 540. That's what you're going to spell out first. Then you see that comma. You're going to have the word thousand, and you're going to actually put a comma after the word thousand. Then you'll say 632, and again there will be no and because there's not a decimal in here. All right, let me turn this off, and you pause the video, do it in word form, and then check back and see how you did. Okay, check your word form. So here's the word form down here. Whoops, it didn't work too well. Let's try that again. Oh, let me turn this off for just a second. Okay, we're back. Let's try the word form, and let's see how you did down here. Here it is. Again, you're going to look across 540. There's my 540,000. That's what that comma tells me to say. There's my word thousand, and there's the comma. Then I write the next three, 632. 632. Notice the hyphen there because 31, 32, 33, it's connecting them. And again, I did not have the word and because there's no decimal. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, for numbers 3 and 4 and 5, they are going to be testing or looking at similar things. So it says show different ways to make the number, and let's read it, 25, then a comma, 1,302. 25,302. So here are the three ways. Okay, an A, and a B, and a C. I'm going to go to my place value chart and show you what they're talking about, because you'll notice the first one, they leave out the 10,000s place. So you have to be able to write this without mentioning or without using the unit 10,000. So you have to combine some things because they're only allowing us to use thousands, hundreds, and ones. Then we have to combine even more because the next line, they're only allowing us to use hundreds and ones. And finally, just ones. Okay. So actually, I'm going to start with this last one here. So if I look at this number, 25,302, I could also say it is 25,302 ones. It would be like somebody telling you, giving you 25,302 $1 bills. That's possible. They could do that. So we're going to kind of think of that money as we make this. So we're going to go look at the place value chart and do the rest of these. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so now let's think about how would we say this? What if there were no $10,000 bills? We'll pretend this is money. So instead of $10,000 bills, there's none. They're going to pay us just in thousands and in hundreds this time. So for the second line, we're going to be looking at just thousands and hundreds. Okay, thousands and hundreds. So here they go. So in other words, I'm going to, if I was going to pay you, then you would get 25 thousands. So you'd get 25,000 dollar bills, which would be the same as two $10,000 bills and $5,000 bills. And you're going to get 3 hundreds and 2 ones. So that's our second one that we have up there. No, I'm sorry, this is the first one. This is the first one. That's letter A. We'll go put that in a second. So letter B says, okay, now there's no more no thousands, only hundreds this time. They only are going to allow us to use hundreds. So I have to kind of take off this part here. And this time I can only use the hundreds. So I have 25,302. That means I'm going to need not just this much, I'm going to need 253 hundreds. It would take that many $100 bills to give me the same amount. See if you can see the pattern. So now it's 253 hundreds and 2 ones. So they're just challenging your understanding of place value. And so hopefully that example with money will help. We're not going to spend too long on this one. Okay, I'll meet you back at the top and we'll fill this in. Okay, here we are. We're back at the top. If you want to, you can go back you can pause, go back in the film and look at what the place value chart looked like. But remember, for letter A, there were no 10,000, there were only $1,000 bills. So I'm going to get $25,000 bills. I'm going to get 3 hundreds and 2 ones, and that will give me, that's the same amount of money as 25,302. Remember on that next example, nope, no thousands. All they had was hundreds to pay us. So we're going to have to go even further. We're going to have to go from we're going to have to include more digits in there. They're going to have to give us 253 $100 bills. And if they did, and they gave us 2 ones, then that'd be okay. And look at the pattern, 25 thousands. Now it's 253 hundreds. And now look at the very bottom, it's everything. Now this is like they're paying us in $1 bills. It'd be like a huge stack of $1 bills. 25,302 ones. Okay, now we wouldn't say no to that because it would still be a lot of money. But this is just different ways of thinking about numbers. So I'm going to let you use number 3 as an example. I want you to pause the tape. I'm going to fill this one in down here below. I'll fill this in, okay? And then we'll see if we match. All right, go ahead. Stop the tape or the recording and fill yours in. Okay, so let's see how'd you do. How'd you do? Don't feel too bad. It's kind of confusing. If you finish some of this work and you at least know a little bit, or you're able to think a little bit differently about place value, that's really the goal. Just thinking about place value, because that's one of the most powerful math concepts or math tools is place value. And learning how to think differently about it. That's what this is all about. Challenging your brain to think a little differently. It's good for your brain. Your brain says, ooh, it's tricky, but I like it. Okay, so here you have different ways. So here we have, this is pretty straightforward. 700,000, so we know that. That's in the 100,000s place. We don't have any 10,000s. We have 8,000s, 400s, 9 10s, and 6 1s. No problem, no problem. The next one, all we get to use, they're going to pay us in thousands. So we actually have 708,000 is what they'd have to give us. $708,000 bills, plus 400s, plus 9 10s, plus 6 1s. The last one, that would be goofy. That would be goofy if they paid us, but we would take it. They'd have to give us 7,084 $100 bills. Then they could give us 9 10s and 6 1s, and we'd still have this whole amount. Again, this would be a huge stack. Your pockets would be bulging. People would be like looking at you like, what are you doing walking around with all that money? But that's the concept, okay? All right, so I am going to pause this or actually, let's just go down here. Number 5 is really the same thing. I'm just going to let you do that. And then number 6, I'm going to let you do that one right now. And then we'll check your work on that. And let's just do it in expanded form, okay? And we'll do it in unit form. And we'll do it in word form. They don't give you a lot of space, but give that a try, and then we'll come right back. That'll wrap up this video. We'll do another one to finish 7 through 10. Sorry, it's just a lot of stuff today. We're trying to go quickly here. All right, good luck. Okay, that was a workout. That was a workout. Here we go. Here's expanded form. Hopefully that wasn't, again, it's a great review, though. 800,000 plus 40,000 plus 1,000 plus 600 plus 20. Here's unit form. This is just using the name of the place value unit. So there are 8 in the 100,000s. There are 4 10,000s, 1,000. Again, think of these as dollar bills. There are 8 $100,000 bills in that number. 4 10,000s, 1,000, 600s, 2 10s, and 0 1s. Finally, word form. In word form, just make sure, as you write it, as you read it. Whoops, looks like I notched it up here a second. Hold on, let's fix that. Word form is just like you're going to read it. So it'd be 841, and then there's that comma, 1,000. And there mine is 841,000, and don't forget that little comma. Notice there's the hyphen too, connecting 40 and 1. Then read the last 3, 620, 620. And finally, no and. We're not talking about a decimal. Did a great job. Not all of these will be this long, though. They won't be this long. This just happened to be a longer one. And there's still more to come on 7 through 10. So click that next video, and I'll have 7 through 10 ready for you. Thank you very much. Great job.